Hello guys. So in this session we are going to learn how to deploy Java Helm Chart on EKS using GitHub Actions. So as you can see, this is my GitHub repository and my repository name is deploy Java Helm Chart on EKS using GitHub Action. So as you can see, in my repository there are few files. So this is a Java project. So here you can see, first of all, src main folder, then git attributes dot git ignore file, then docker file, then readme.md file. This is default file. After that, pom.xml file. So that's the Java project. So let's start. So first of all, as you know, we need to create cluster. So as you can see here, I have already created cluster with the name sample, and the status is active, and the Kubernetes version is 1.27. And as you know, the version to 1.27 is latest and default. And as you can see, the provider is EKS. After that, you can see here I have also created repository Amazon Elastic Container Registry, and the repository is private, and my repository name is DevOps, and as you can see the details. Okay, so as you know how to create cluster, if you don't know, then you can check my article here, how to create cluster. As you can see, how to create Amazon EKS cluster using EKSCTL. Okay, so let's start. So first of all, here I have created one instance, you can see. And now firstly we need to clone this repository because this is Java project. If you don't have any project, so you can clone my repository. Simply go to the code and copy the HTTPS. So here I'm going to clone my repository. So as you know, the command git clone and paste the HTTPS. Okay. Now if I run the ls command, as you can see, my folder with the name deploy Java Helm Chart on EKS using GitHub Actions. So now first of all, let's access our Docker image in browser. So how to access? So first of all, go to the deploy Java Helm Chart on EKS using GitHub Action folder. So I'm going to inside my folder using cd command. If I run the ls command, as you can see, my project dockerfile, readme.md file, pom.xml and src folder. Now here, first of all, we need to install Docker. So here, as you can see, the command, firstly we need to install Docker. So let's install. Okay. Then next is here, we need to give some permissions. So first of all, I'm going to use this first command to give permissions, and next is here using chmod. Okay. Now, okay. So now if I run the ls command, as you can see our folders and the files. So here, this is our Java project. So here I'm going to run mvn package. So first of all, we need to install Maven. So I'm going to install Maven using this command. Okay, now let's clear the screen first and let's run the next command. Okay, so as you can see, the message build success. That means we have successfully built our image. Okay, so now let's clear the screen first, and here I'm going to use this command to build my Docker image. So the command is like this: docker build dot -t, then your username, and then /Java. So my username will be DevOps/Java, because this is Java project. We are going to deploy Java. So that's why I'm going to use Java. So as you can see, it's successfully built. Okay. So now the next is we are going to run our Docker image. So you can see the command docker run -p and the port number is 49160-8080-d. After that your username, then /Java. So let's run this command. Okay, so as you can see, it's done. Now let's run Docker images. So as you can see, our image DevOps /Java. The tag is latest and the image ID and created 47 seconds ago. Now if I run the Docker PS, so as you can see here, container ID, image name, the command, and the created timing 25 seconds ago, and the status and the port number and so on. So now let's access this image in our browser. So how to access? So first of all, here in my repository folder, if I run the ls command, so as you can see here, the target folder, right? When we run our mvn package command, the target folder will automatically generate it. So if I go to my target folder and if I run the ls command, as you can see the war file, right? Okay, so now let's access our docker image in our browser. So how to access? As you know, we need our instance ip. So go to the instance and copy your instance ip, then slash, and our port number is 49160 slash, and then our file name. So our file name is here, hello/1.0. So as you can see our image, congratulations, and you have successfully launched your instance and so on, right? So that's our docker image. Okay, so now we have successfully accessed our docker image on our browser, right? Okay, so now the next step is here. Next step is we need to install helm chart, right? We need to install helm chart on EKS, because here we are going to deploy Java Helm Chart on EKS. So that's why we need a Helm chart. So first of all, we need to install Helm chart on our EKS. Then we are going to deploy Java Helm chart, right? So first of all, let's install Helm chart on our EKS. So how to install? So now we are going to install Helm chart on EKS. So as you can see the command to download Helm installation. So first of all, I'm going to download the Helm installation. So here I'm going to use Helm 3. So here I'm going to clear the screen first and let's install Helm chart. Then add the execute permission to this download script. So that's the command. Then execute the installation script. So now as you can see, it's downloading. Okay, it's done. Now if you want to check, then you can run helm. So as you can see the command and the details about your helm. So if you want to check the version of your helm chart, the command is helm version. So you can see the version, build info version 3.12.2, and the git commit id and so on. Okay, so that's the details of about our helm. So we have successfully installed Helm on our EKS. Now the next step is here. We need to create our Java Helm chart. So how to create? So the command is like this. Here you can see the command helm create and your Helm chart name. So my Helm chart name will be Java chart because this is our Java project. So that's why my Helm chart name will be Java chart. So as you can see, creating Java chart, if I run the ls command, as you can see the folder Java chart. So I'm going to inside my Java chart folder, and if I run the ls command, so as you can see there is few files and folders, chart.yaml file, charts folder, then templates folder, after that values.yaml file. So here we need to we need to modify few files. So first of all, we need to modify this values.yaml file. After that, we need to modify, if I go to my template folder, you can see the files. After that, we need to modify this deployment.yaml file and then service.yaml file, right? Okay, so first of all, I'm going to modify values.yaml file. So let's inside the value.yaml file. So I'm going to use my favorite editor, Nano. Command is sudo nano values.yaml. So here, first of all, as you can see, the values.yaml file, right? So here, first of all, I'm going to replace this repository because here we are going to deploy our Java Helm chart on EKS, right? So here in repository, our EKS URI, right? So here I'm going to my EKS. EKS means Elastic Container Registry, right? Sorry, yeah, EKS, and here you can see my EKS, my URI, right? My repository URI, because here we are going to deploy our Java Helm chart on EKS, so that's why I'm going to use this URI repository, right? So that's why here if I copy my repository URI and I'm going to paste this URI in repository section. After that, pull policy and the image tag will be latest. Okay. Now, if I scroll down, here as you can see, the type is cluster IP. So we need to replace this cluster IP with load balancer. Right. So we need to replace this cluster IP with load balancer, and after that here we need to set target ports. So here I'm going to use this. Here is our target port and protocol and the name. So I'm going to use this. So here our target port is 8080 and the protocol TCP and the name is Java chart, right? So here my name will be Java chart. Okay. So okay, it's done. So I'm going to save my file using Control X, Y for save, and then enter. Okay. Now after that, the next file is deployment.yaml file. So I'm going to inside my template folder to modify my deployment.yaml file. So here also I'm going to use my favorite editor, Nano. So now here, as you can see, the ports, container ports, so I'm going to replace this value.service port with values.service.target port because our target port is 8080, right? Okay. And after that here, then as you can see in path, here I'm going to change because here because if I run the ls command, if I run the ls command and go to my repository folder, our repository folder is here, and if I run the ls command, there is a target folder, right? So if I go to my target folder and if I run the ls command, so as you can see, our file name is hello/1.0. That means this is our image, right? Image path. So we need to copy this image name and I'm going to paste in my notepad. Okay, now let's go to the deployment.yaml file. So as you know, first of all, let's inside our Java chart folder, then templates folder, and this sudo nano and our file name. Okay, now let's scroll down, and here in path, I'm going to enter my image name. So my image name is here, hello/1.0. Then after that here, okay. Now it's done. Now let's save the file and exit. Okay. Now the next file is service.yaml file. So let's service.yaml file, and here you simply enter the values. So as you can see here in target port, values service.target port. So I'm going to enter here. Same for protocol. As well as same for name. Okay, so it's done. So let's save the file and exit. Okay, we have successfully modified 3 files. First of values.yaml file, then deployment.yaml file, and then service.yaml file. Okay, now let's exit. So now the next step is we need to go to our repository, GitHub repository, and here we need to add some secrets. So how to add? So as you can see, first of all, we need to go to the settings, and then let's scroll down, secrets and variables, go to the actions, add new repository secret. So the first secret is AWS access key ID. So let's enter our AWS access key ID. So my access key ID is here. Then next secret is AWS secret access key ID. Okay. Okay, it's done. Now here we need to create our workflow. So first of all, we need to push this Java chart on our repository. So first of all, we need to clone our repository, then copy the folder in our copy folder and paste folder in our repository. So first of all, here I'm going to rename my repository folder. So the command is sudo move and our repository name, folder name, and then new name. So now my new name will be sample project. As you can see, successfully renamed sample project. Now let's clone our repository. So let's copy the code, git clone. Okay. So if I run the ls command, so as you can see, my folder, repository folder. Okay. So now first of all, let's copy the Java chart folder and paste in our repository folder. So the command is sudo cp-r, then our folder name that we are going to copy it. So our folder name is Java chart, and our repository folder name. So our repository folder name is deploy Java Helm Chart on EKS using GitHub Actions. So let's enter. Okay, so let's go to inside our repository folder and let's run the ls command. So as you can see, the folder name Java Chart. That means you have successfully paste, right? Okay. Now let's push this code into our repository. So how to push? So as you know the commands. So the command is git add dot, then git commit hyphen m, in double quote our commit. So our commit will be Java Helm Chart added. Then git push. So our username is jobsing, and then password. So here you can use your personal access token as a password, right? So here as you can see my personal access token, so I'm going to use this as a password. Okay, so as you can see it's done. We have successfully pushed this code into our repository. So let's check our repository. Okay, so as you can see Java chart folder. Okay, it's done. Now it's time to create our workflow. So how to create? So as you know, go to the actions, and click on set up a workflow yourself. And let's enter our workflow. So here is my workflow. Okay. So let's understand our workflow first. So as you can see the name, then on push branch main and pull request branch main. Okay. Now job deploy on Ubuntu latest, right? Okay. Then steps, first of all, check code. So here we are going to use this action checkout repository. The version is 3. Then set up JDK 11, right? We need a Java because this is our Java project. So we need to install Java. So here I'm going to use this action setup Java repository and the version is 3. The next is build with Maven, right? Here as you know, here the command is Maven clean package. Then next is install kubectl, right? So here we are going to use this repository for kubectl and the version is 1.27 and this is the default and latest version. The next is configure AWS credentials. So as you can see here, we have successfully added 2 secrets, for first for AWS access key ID and another for AWS secret access key ID. And as you know, our region is AP South 1, right? So you can see here, I have entered my region is AP South 1. Then next is login to Amazon ECR. So here you can see the ID, login ECR and the usage. Here we are going to use this repository to log into our ECR. Then build, tag and push Docker image to our Amazon ECR. So you can see the registry. So here you can see this line. Here you can see that means registry of our this Elastic Container Registry, right? Okay. Now next is our repository name. So my repository name is DevOpsint, as you can see. Elastic Container Registry repository name is DevOpsint. Then image tag is latest. After that, run build -t registry means this step. Then repository means name, repository name, and the image tag is latest. Same for Docker push. Then next is update kube config. So here you can see run EKS update config and then hyphen name and our cluster name. So my cluster name is sample, as you can see here. As of now, I have only one cluster with the name sample and the status is active, right? So my cluster name is sample. Then next step is deploy Java Helm Chart to EKS, right? So here we are going to deploy Java Helm Chart to EKS. Then Helm install Java dot slash and our chart name. So our chart name is Java chart, right? As you can see here, we have created Java chart, right? Our chart name is Java chart. So that's why here I'm going to use Java chart. So that's our workflow. So let's run our workflow. So let's commit changes. So wait for a few seconds. So as you can see, it's running. So as you can see, our workflow succeed. As you can see, succeed now in 1 minute and 18 seconds. Okay, so it's done. Now let's check the steps. So first of all, you can see build with Maven. So you can see the steps. So we have successfully built with Maven. Then next is install kubectl. So we have successfully installed 1.27 version, right? Then we have successfully configured our AWS credential, that means AWS secret access key ID as well as AWS access key ID and then region. Then we have successfully logged into our Amazon ECR, that means this Elastic Container Registry. Then we have successfully built tag and push Docker image to our Amazon ECR, that means here, right? Then we have successfully update our kube config, and after that we have successfully deploy our Java Helm chart to EKS. Okay, so let's check. So go to the Elastic Container Registry, and this is our repository, and let's check our image. So as you can see, the image is one and the tag is latest and the push timing and so and the size and the details of about our image. That means we have successfully pushed our image to Amazon ECR, right? Okay. Now let's check here Now terminal, so I'm going to check. So first of all, let's run kubectl get pods. So as you can see, our chart name Java chart and the status is running. You can see if I check the status of deploy. So as you can see, our name and the status up to date and available, right? Okay. So now let's check our image and let's access in browser. So our image is here like this, right? So let's check using kubectl get service command. And the external IP is here. So I'm going to use this IP to check my deployment, right? So let's copy our IP. Right, and then slash, and our image name is hello hyphen 1.0. So as you can see our image, you have successfully launched your instance, congratulations, and so on, right? That's our image. You can see here and here, right? That's our Docker image. That means you have successfully deployed Java Helm Chart on EKS using GitHub Actions. So thank you for watching.